Welcome back to Coffee Talks with Jared Jackson.
I do not have the vaccination. I didn't get it, not because I'm trying to be a rebel, not because I'm trying to be different, not because I'm trying to make a point. I didn't get it because I do not feel like I need it. Plain and simple. I've had, luckily for me, throughout the entire COVID, last couple of years, I've had no issues with, I stay healthy, I eat relatively healthy. I'm not going to say I eat healthy all the time, but I exercise very routinely, and I eat clean enough, and I keep myself in fairly good shape. And I just haven't had the need to get the vaccination. Okay? If you say, well, Jared, you're spreading it to other people, I can tell you that people that have the vaccination, it's also a well-known fact now that those people are also spreading the COVID-19, So, my body, my choice, right? What happened to all of those people? Do I not get to choose what goes in and out of my body? People are still spreading the flu. People are still spreading herpes. People are still spreading, you can list any number of things that people are spreading because they don't have a certain pill or vaccination or whatever else, okay? It comes down to you should have that decision. You should be able to make that choice. If I was to walk inside of a mall tomorrow and I bring with me a loaded Judge revolver. You know what a Judge revolver is? Look it up. It's a pretty big pistol, right? Or revolver. If I load up that revolver with one bullet in the chamber and I walk into the mall and I gather a crowd around me and I say, everybody start spinning this chamber, we're going to go around and we're going to play Russian roulette, right? And I bring, there's teenage kids gathering around, there's old people, there's young people, and I'm handing these people this gun. I'm saying, I'm going to spin the gun for you. You pick it up, put it to your head and pull the trigger and see what happens, okay? If I was to do that, it's my gun, I bring it to the mall, I start passing it around for people to play this game with me. And one of them gets shot, and they blow their head off with this Judge revolver. Okay? Do you think that I would get arrested and go to jail for that? The answer is 100% yes. I would go to jail, people would call me a monster. How could you play with people's lives like this? You knew there was a round in the chamber, you knew somebody was gonna die. Why did you hand that little boy that pistol and he blew his brains out? That's now on you. You're going to jail. You're a monster. Okay? It's the exact same game that's being played right now with the vaccination and people's lives. If this is something that is being forced on people. Okay? If I am forced, if they force me to take the vaccination and I die from it, the only difference in these two stories is in my death is going to be touted as a part of the successful low death rate of the vaccination. So Jared Jackson takes the vaccination, I have some complications from it, and I die. Okay, do you know that it's not, first of all, no one's going to jail for my death, okay? After they handed me that loaded revolver, and actually it's a different scenario because not only are they handing you a revolver with one bullet in the chamber and they're playing with your life, but they're also the ones that put it to your head and squeeze it to find out if you're going to nail that bullet. Okay? So let's change that mall scenario. I'm taking the gun in there, I'm spinning the chamber, then I'm putting it to people's head and pulling the trigger and seeing what happens. Okay? That's what the vaccination is, essentially. Okay? And if I die, if I kill somebody in the mall, I'm the monster, I go to jail for the rest of my life. We can all agree, even I would agree, I should go to jail for that and I'm the monster. But if I die from the vaccination, from them putting that vaccination to my head and pulling the trigger and seeing what happens, And if I die from that, they're going to say, oh, well, he's only a part of, 10% or 3% or 2% of whatever people that are dying. So those are good numbers. It's only a low death rate from this vaccination. But I'm dead. The kid in the mall that I put that gun to his head, he's dead. Can I not also say, I played this game with 100 other people. People weren't dying. It was just this one kid that I blew his brains out. He's a low percentage. These are good numbers, right? So I should be able to choose. If those people are in the mall, they should be able to tell me, hey, no, don't put that gun to my head. I don't want to play this game with you. All right? I don't want to take the vaccination at this point because I legitimately don't need it, and I feel 100% fine. I've had no problems over these last couple of years. I'm maintaining my physical health. I'm being safe. I'm not the jerk that always walks around without the mask just to not wear the mask. If it makes you feel safe and it makes you feel good, I'll wear the mask to make people feel good. I don't necessarily think I need the mask or that they're working at all. And there's science to back that up, but I'll still do it to make people feel okay about themselves. I got no issue with that. When it comes to you putting the gun to my head, that's when I run into a problem, okay? And the bigger problem there is the fact that after you put that gun in my head and you pull the trigger and there actually happens to be a bullet in that chamber and I'm dead, nothing bad happens to you from that. There's no consequence to your life, okay? And the numbers are touted, like I said, as being, these are low death rates. This is a positive thing. He's dead, but this is a positive thing, okay? Howard Stern, I heard Howard Stern, and he was talking about people taking the vaccination, and he said, when are we gonna just have enough of these idiots? And when are we gonna say, F your freedoms, F your liberties, you're taking the vaccination, it's mandatory, I want my freedoms. Those are almost exactly his words. You can go back and listen to it. Wow. How do you get away with saying something like that? F our freedoms, F our liberties, you want your freedoms to live on. What are you talking about? Okay, you're completely free to take the vaccination, and according to science, once you take it, you should be fine, right? Then my non-vaccinated self should not be an issue to you. I don't need to play the Russian roulette game with you. Okay, you go play it, you won. There was no bullet in the chamber. Okay, I'm not playing it with you. There are people who are dying from that, and it's perfectly normal for people to say, I don't want to play that game. Okay, and for you to say, F these people's freedoms and F their liberties, you want your freedoms. You have your freedoms. Keep them. Take it. Let them pump you full of all the chemicals and whatever else they want to pump you full of. And I support you in doing that. Okay? But the problem comes in when you want to put the gun to my head. And that's not going to happen. You understand? You don't get to do that. Like I said, my body, my choice, right? Okay? Now, let me use that. Let me run with that line on this. And what, are you going to argue with me on that? Joe Rogan did a podcast. It was episode 1671. I think you should go back and watch that if you have any time. He did a podcast with two people. One of them was Brett Weinstein, who's been on the show before. Very intelligent guy. I believe he's an evolutionary biologist. The other guy was Dr. Pierre Corey. And Dr. Pierre Corey is an ICU and lung specialist. Okay? And he's been dealing with this, he's been doing a lot of research with this drug, ivermectin, is what it's called. Ivermectin has been used in a lot of different countries to treat and has been very, very, very effective. A lot more effective in treating and curing COVID than these vaccinations, okay? And his research with ivermectin, and what they're finding out is that nobody wants to approve ivermectin for, to be commercially used in the United States. I think you can still get it, and I don't want to talk too much about this because I'm not as knowledgeable in these details as I could be, and I don't want to screw any information up. But from what I understand from listening to that podcast is that this drug ivermectin is very effective in treating COVID, okay? And it is not being pushed in the United States for the simple fact, guess what? There's no money to be made, right? So if there's no money to be made for the powers that be and the medical establishment, why would we give you the cure? You know, or why would we help you out with this specific drug? I believe in the United States you can request ivermectin from your doctor and you might still be able to get it. Don't take my word on that. I had one conversation with a man over this last weekend who was telling me something to that effect, but I would recommend you do your own research and go back and watch that 1671 episode of the Joe Rogan Experience and listen to what they said about that ivermectin treatment. But I don't want to play Russian roulette. Russian roulette. Is it Russian roulette or Russian roulette? I don't know. I don't want to play that game with my life. Okay? And I think that should be perfectly fine. And shame on the people who are saying, F your freedoms, F your liberties. I want my freedoms. And I want you to play the game. Okay? Those people are a problem. And it's a shame that they're not getting a lot of recognition as being the problem. Okay, you're an issue if you walk up to me and say, you really need to make everybody in this mall play this gun game with you. If that person is standing behind me saying, F all these people's freedoms, make them play the gun game, put it to their head, pull that trigger. Alright, they're okay, let them keep going. That person, that's Howard Stern, okay? That's, you know, whoever else that's saying these things. Trevor Noah, that's all these people who are trying to make you play this game where the person holding the gun has no responsibility if you die. Okay? That's a problem. It's a legitimate fear to not want to play that game. You need to, the people who don't want to play it, you need to leave them alone. They have that choice. Okay? No, not F our freedoms. Okay? F you saying that. And I don't like to curse, so it's, you know, it loses a little bit of effect when you don't curse, though. I really do want to curse. I want to say the word because you can really nail that point across if you spit the word out sometimes, but it can cloud your message at the same point. So I don't want to play the game. I haven't gotten vaccinated. I don't plan on it unless they literally come to my house with the force and say, hey, you know, we're putting it in you. Then what do, you know? We'll deal with that when the time comes, but for now I haven't had it. I don't feel like I need it, and to hell with people saying F your freedoms if you don't get this drug, right? Anyway, this has been Coffee Talks with Jared Jackson. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, and I'll catch you in the next video.